Hello, today we're going to be doing a video that has a great deal of real importance. And this is something that people don't talk about enough. There is a deep connection between the emotions that you feel, the thoughts that you think, and the physical manifestations in your body. What if I told you that disease is little more than the physical expressions of traumas, unprocessed or suppressed emotions locked into the body? And the gateway to healing is in your power, and it has been all along. First off, it's important to say that this video does not constitute medical advice. I'm simply looking to highlight a connection that isn't spoken of enough, and that is the mind-body connection. People may not realize exactly how powerful a connection this really is, or how to use shadow work as a cornerstone of medicine to release the body's unconscious necessitation of manifestation of the condition itself. Imagine, if you will, a scale. On one side, our mind, and on the other, our body. For optimal health, this scale must remain balanced. But when we suppress emotions, we tip this balance, and our body often bears the weight. If we look at one of the oldest established medical practices in the world, and that's traditional Chinese medicine, they have long recognized this interplay. In TCM, our organs are not just physical entities, they're deeply connected to our emotions. For example, in the liver, that is the seat of anger and frustration. In our lungs, it harbors our grief and our sadness. In the spleen, it reflects worry and overthinking. In your heart, it radiates joy, but can also be affected by excessive excitement. Your kidneys, they store your fear and your anxiety. Think of each suppressed emotion as a drop of ink in a jar. One drop may seem insignificant, but over time the clarity fades and the darkness prevails. Our bodies are much like that jar, accumulating emotional residues. Unaddressed emotions, they don't just vanish, they find refuge in our bodies. They often surface as ailments, tension headaches, digestive issues, chronic pain. If you are chronically suppressing your emotions, you'll find that you're far more likely to actually have these conditions. Now, Carl Jung, renowned psychologist, introduced the concept of the shadow, the unconscious repository of our repressed traits and emotions. And he believed that confronting and integrating our shadow is pivotal for personal healing and personal growth. When we neglect this integration, our shadow can project itself, sometimes manifesting as physical symptoms. This is where you could use therapies, such as somatic therapies. It's a therapeutic approach that emphasizes the body's role in processing emotions. By becoming attuned to bodily sensations, we can uncover and release stored emotional tensions. So, I want to do an exercise together. I want you to sit comfortably. Put your feet flat on the ground and inhale deeply through your nose. Now hold that for a moment. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Do this a few times. As you do, just bring yourself into a state of deep relaxation. This is centering. What this does is it resets the mind and has it focused. I want you to bring your attention from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. Slowly move it through the body. And I want you to note any tension that you feel in your body, any discomforts. If you encounter a discomfort, pause for a moment. I want you to hone in on that point of your body. Breathe into that area and allow it to soften. Now, this is very important. If your body is holding a tension, a damage, an inflammation, it has an emotional root. It has an identity. I'd like you to keep your point of attention on this space. And as you breathe into it, I want you to engage in an emotional connection. Feel how this area of your body feels. Allow that emotion to rise into your conscious mind. As you strengthen this connection to this area, you may find that there is a certain emotion attached. Could be in your organ, could be in your muscle tissue. Of course, there is acute injuries that naturally will inflame, but even those have a belief attached to them. The reason why you engaged in a certain activity that created that injury. Every part of the body is connected to our whole story. And that whole story is built around the idea of belief. Belief about what is real, belief about who we are, belief about your place in the world. So maintain your focus, find the story, find the belief attached to it. With an injury, you may find that this is a negative belief reinforcing itself to become real in the body. Engage in a dialogue with your injuries, with your disease, with the emotions behind it. And as you breathe and engage in this connection, as you ask deeper questions about why you're there, what's the emotion behind it, what caused that, when did that emotion first start and emerge in my life? You go down a rabbit hole that will lead to an original memory, an original story, an original emotion. If you really wish to heal this part of your body, you must change the story, change the belief, and feel the emotion that's behind it and allow that feeling to be felt. And then I want you to breathe it out or engage in an activity. Maybe it's running, maybe it's punching a punching bag, maybe it's singing loudly. Engage in an activity that helps you to channel it out of the body. Now, this is a wonderful practice for releasing tensions in the body, for realigning your energetics with a physical form that is healthier. And this is a cornerstone of healing. It's not the complete story. Obviously, many conditions need many treatments, but this is an essential part of the initial healing process. I would like to share my own personal story. I was married. I was engaged in a very close relationship for 10 years. It was a deep love, but it was a love that was founded on a codependency. During the breakup, I experienced a tremendous amount of heartbreak. And in this heartbreak, I manifested and created a disease, and that disease is called pericarditis. Now, in this practice of somatic healing, I've managed to reverse this condition. Whenever a pericarditis attack started threatening, the inflammation of the heart lining around my heart started to constrict, and I felt the pain beginning. I moved my attention to the site. I engaged in the practice of deep love. I channeled deep love into the organ, the sac around the heart. And I said, you are healed. You are healed. You no longer need to hold this tension. I forgive myself in the past. I forgive my relationship. I forgive her. I allow the pain to be real. And I'm not internalizing this anymore. And as I moved deep amounts of love to the pericardium around my heart, I felt this radiant energy engulfing the whole organ, easing, loving, releasing tension. It stops the attack and it steps. I do not have pericarditis anymore. There was a few echoes, a few times it tried to come back. I re-engaged in this process and completely released it. Now, this won't work for everyone. It is a very personal process. It's a very deep process, but it is a real process. And it really is something that does a tremendous amount of good for the body. So ask yourself, what are you storing in your body? What unprocessed griefs, emotions, traumas, pains, things that you keep suppressing, you've been chronically suppressing for years, what is that doing to your organs? How do you release it? How can you let it go? Find a way. And by moving your point of attention to these areas and engaging in the conversations and engaging in allowing the emotions to be felt and present and real, and telling it a different story, looking at it from different perspectives, finding the original root memories and transforming that can release these tension points and prevent disease. It can prevent things from actually manifesting in our bodies. I wish you the best of luck with this process. And again, I'm Ryan Jackson Saul. I'm a shadow coach, and I wish you the best of health.